Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here Tuesday, August 12th, for our regular board meeting of the Board of Trustees. Item number 1 is call this meeting to order. I've done so at 5:30. It's an echo. Item number 2, moment of silence. Please join us. Thank you. Number 3, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
That was fast.
Tell them to slow down and go.
In the spirit of that, public comments. No public comments, so we'll move on. Item number 5, consent agenda items.
Mr. President, I move to approve items 5A to M with the exception of 5F, which has been pulled, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
All right, I have a motion by trustee Regalado, a second by trustee De La Garza. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Item number 6, 6A, report regarding a new initiative for 18-plus student program. Dr. Gutierrez.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President and Board of Trustees. Administration will provide a report on the new initiative of an 18-plus student program that perhaps we want to start in McAllen ISD. Dr. De Hoyos, Associate Superintendent for Instructional Services, will have more information on this item. This is for information purposes only, and we have a PowerPoint to present to the board. Go ahead.
That's right. Thank you, Dr. Gutierrez, and a good evening, board. We are, here at McAllen ISD, our goal is to always offer opportunities for all students. And so looking at our student outcomes, we also have a particular group that probably we are not serving, and those are the individuals that have not completed a graduation diploma, and they're in age 18 through 26. So with that in mind, we also would like to increase our student enrollment and offer this opportunity to those students that are 18 plus that have not completed a high school diploma, like I said. This 18 plus program, we would like to call it the McAllen ISD Step Up Program, and is for individuals age 18 to 26 who have not earned a high school diploma. It will be a flexible, free, and effective pathway to a high school diploma. It will be housed at McAllen ISD Lamar campus, and we're looking at probably beginning September 2025. We will generate school average daily attendance, and we will improve options for McAllen citizens and also surrounding communities. The impact in the community is to strengthen the regional workforce by providing employers with more job-ready, credentialed candidates, reduces generational poverty by empowering young adults with the education needed for better paying jobs. We also believe that it will support local families, especially young parents, by modeling the importance of education and increase local graduation rates and close educational equity gaps. When we look at the data at McAllen ISD, we do have an extremely low dropout rate, which is a good problem to have. Yet we know that the dropout data is based on where the student goes when they withdraw from our district or from any district. It's only reported where they're going. Yet there's not much follow-up without all the different districts in the region if the student that left the district really completed a high school diploma. So what we can base ourselves is if we do have a need in the valley, and what we can base on is on the Hidalgo County data. So the Hidalgo County data shows that currently, right now, though the population that is between 18 and 24 years of age, 14,448 of those members of the community do not have a high school diploma. Now, this could be students that were at risk and they left their district. It could be students that came from other region of the state or the nation. It could also be students that probably withdrew from a district to get on an online homeschool or just homeschool in general, and they got disconnected from the district support. And then most of the other is unknown. So to conclude this slide, the Valley data looks like that we have about 14,000 plus people without a high school diploma currently right now. Now, if we don't have programs like this in districts, we don't offer programs like this in our districts, that number can only increase. So, McAllen ISD is committed to serving all students, and we want to pilot this program for the individuals aged 18 through 26 who have not earned a high school diploma yet. Like I said earlier, this program or programs like this will improve options not only for our McAllen ISD ex-students, but it will also provide options for our surrounding communities. So we're expecting to increase our enrollment by inviting those students that are out there in the surrounding communities. Now, some logistics on this program, and then in the next slide I will discuss funding. This program, we're planning to run it in a 4-hour, probably half-day sessions, morning and afternoon. And students that have other responsibilities can take advantage of either the morning or the afternoon sessions. The attendance will follow the optional flexible school day model, similar to what our students are right now currently in K through 12 students that are in the flex program that will generate the full day attendance through a 4-hour program. The step-up program accountability will be part of the comprehensive high schools. It won't be a standalone campus, so we won't be at risk of having a campus with a low accountability or we won't have that at risk of any new program, especially because it's a pilot program. We will keep it as part of the comprehensive high schools. Students will not be commingled. I know that I've gotten a lot of questions about this. Students in this program, being that there are 18 plus, they will not be together. They will be separate and apart from students on the Lamar campus. We have already dedicated some classrooms, and restrooms are being built, and a cafeteria area is already devoted to the students in this program. So students will receive wraparound services as well. Aside of all the supports that we have here at McAllen ISD, we will also have a partnership with Region 1 that will provide wraparound services in the social, emotional, mental health support. The cost. So what is our investment? The facility, pretty much we have an area there at Lamar that is not being utilized right now by students, and it is divided by a fence. So the students will be separate and apart, like I said earlier, from the Lamar students. And the cost that we're looking at is basically the building of the restrooms. I'm talking to Mr. Trevino, and he's here tonight. If you have additional questions, he can address them. The work will be done in-house, so the materials that will be used is more or less around $5,000. We currently have a principal, and she's in attendance also, Ms. Sanchez, there at Lamar, and she will oversee this small program that we're thinking probably no less than 50 students to start off this pilot program. Curriculum, we currently have an evidence-based credit recovery program that we will be utilizing, and the investment mostly will be our teachers. So we're looking at 4 teachers, at least the core, and then they will also be trained to do the credit recovery for the elective courses, and then the partnership with Region 1 for the wraparound services. Total This investment will be at around $280,000. And then if we calculate the full day ADA for these 50 students, we're looking at $310,750. That will probably still have about $30,000 to work with if we are in need of resources or supplies for the program. Timeline to start the program is as soon as we brought this presentation information to you, we want to start the recruitment process tomorrow. And we have Ms. Lisa Cavazos that is going to take us through the recruitment and also who is the target audience. And then also she already created a flyer for our recruitment. So to finalize my part of the presentation, we are looking at hopefully finalizing those restrooms and finalizing everything, the setup and hiring of the teachers by September 12th, give or take, and class starts on September 15th. So now I have Ms. Lisa Cavazos to do the recruitment part.
Good evening, everyone. So we are very excited to expand our department to include this 18 to 26-year-old program. We want this effort to be really collaborative, to be really positive, to be just kind of a shining light, right, for the district, for individuals who need this particular program. We have a tagline, your diploma, your future, let's finish what you started. And you'll notice it's us, we're helping, right? So we want to make sure that we market this and communicate in all recruitment efforts that this is a collaboration, this is a support and an assistance and something that we're doing really for the betterment of our community. Our student recruitment team, our student outreach team will lead the recruitment effort. This is what we do. So we know how to boots on the ground. We know how to knock on doors. We know how to talk to partners. So this is just an expansion of the work that's already led by my department. We know that we'll leverage all the usual platforms, so social media, website, again, boots on the ground, and then promotion via media outlets like radio and or TV. This, of course, will be done in close collaboration with our communications and marketing department, so can't do it alone, obviously. And where we're going with this is the lowest hanging fruit, that's the fruit tree, are our McAllen ISD leavers, right? So we know in running the data over the last few years of students that would fall into this 18 to 26-year-old bracket, there are about 1,000 students, 1,000 individuals that are not classified as leavers, they're not classified as dropouts, but we don't know where they went, right? They've left us, maybe they left for a homeschool program or an online school program, or we just don't know, right? So we're really targeting those students that told us they were going to a place to complete a thing, but we're not sure if they did or not. And we have contact information, at least for the time that they were with us as students. And in some cases, that's moms and dads of grown adults, right? But we have a lifeline to those individuals. Second would be our McAllen ISD parents. So we have a community of adults that are living and working that may fall into this bracket as well as our staff. Made a beautiful contact earlier in the month in our Hidalgo County Head Start program, who has dedicated family service individuals who work specifically with the parents of our Head Start students to find them employment and to find them GED programs. This is a beautiful opportunity to expand that partnership as well. And then our partners. So through Region 1, of course, will be our partner in support throughout this program. They also have some tried and true things that they have done, as we would not be the first district to offer this program, but we will leverage their experience. Our housing authority, workforce, Salvation Army shelters, just other employment opportunities, right, where individuals may be able to work without a high school diploma, where we can leverage individuals there. We're also really excited about the pool of potential students. Dr. De Hoyos mentioned that 14,000 number throughout the Hidalgo County area, but that is census data. And we know that our census completion rates are also pretty low. So we actually anticipate that the number of potential candidates for this program to be much higher. Our goal in this first season is to have 250 leads generated of individuals who could potentially start this program, to generate about half as many applications to get those 50 students enrolled into the program. Criteria, it's already been mentioned, 18 to 26 years old, U.S. Residents, meaning they have a proof of address. They just have to show us that they're living somewhere here that is not tied to immigration status or anything else, enrolled in a Texas public school at some point. So they have to have some record of being enrolled in a Texas public school to be eligible. And this is that flyer that Dr. De Hoyos mentioned, one of many to come. Again, collaborative, exciting, it's a good thing, right? It's something that we want people to feel really positive and good about taking advantage of.
And that's our presentation. Is there any questions?
I will open it up to the board.
So on the questions of cost, curriculum zero, we already have the curriculum. What about Chromebooks, desks, all those kind of things?
Desks we have, Chromebooks we will probably also provide. And it will, as you can see, we do have that 30,000 that we could potentially work with for any supplies or resources that we might need.
And this program generally follows the same school year?
Yes, yes.
So, okay.
If I can give you a picture, think of the Lamar option students that are currently right now at, in our district. It's just something similar like that, just that these students will be 18 plus, and they have the opportunity of coming only half a day. That's what works best for their schedule.
I'm very excited about this idea. I think this represents sort of this ethic and this mantra of being all in for our community. I'm thrilled to see us doing this. I have heard of similar programs in neighboring districts in the valley that have been operational for a few years. Some have slowed down and then had to start up again, but in those contexts, we're talking about thousands of individuals who have been reclaimed by the public school system to earn a high school diploma, to put them on a path towards a living wage, which we know does wonderful things for families and for ending intergenerational poverty. My clarification is on this slide as well. So the 50 students at 6215, that's the new basic allotment as established by House Bill 2 in the 2025 legislative session. Is it fair to assume that if any of these students have at-risk indicators or are qualified for special education services or other multipliers in the school funding system, that number could actually be higher?
That is correct. That is correct. This is the basic allotment, but if we have an emergent bilingual or special education student, or they're part of the dyslexia program or whatever, we would get additional funding than the 6,250.
Wonderful, thank you.
Also on this slide, on faculty, it shows 65,000 for 4 teachers.
Times 4.
Right. So I'm just going to look at my notes here that I received. This facility already houses 2 very different programs. We have IB and we have options there. We only have a part-time librarian, a counselor, 1 counselor for both programs, an LVN, not an RN, no instructional assistant, 1 social worker that we share with 3 other campuses, and 1 police officer. The clerical staff consists of 4 staff, a principal, secretary, bookkeeper, 1 attendance clerk, 1 PEMS clerk, a registrar, and 1 receptionist. My concern is that adding a 3rd program to this facility is going to put a huge strain on our staff that's already there and stretch thin. So I don't even think that you could employ the number of more people that we would need to hire with $30,000. So I do have some serious concerns about adding a whole new program at this location, so.
Is there another location?
I mean, I'm just wondering, like, and I don't know the logistics of it, but Achieve, those students are already on college campuses or, go back and forth to STC. So those kids are already exposed to older young adults. We have the ING building. I'm just wondering if this is really the best fit.
And I don't know, I'm sure Dr. Gutierrez will also have something to say on this. We looked at where the space was right now. And at Achieve Early College High School, we don't have 4 additional classrooms. And it's not only 4 additional classrooms, we will also need a separate cafeteria, a separate set of restrooms, a separate location where wraparound services or counseling happen, right? And so I know that when Dr. Gutierrez has tasked us with this idea, we looked even at Navarro Elementary. But the thing is that at Navarro Elementary, we don't have a principal, so that we will have to factor in a principal for that location, and then we will have to move out all the staff there at Navarro, for example. And then we also looked at Achieve. That was another location that we looked at, but like I mentioned earlier, we would need to separate and have an additional set of classrooms and cafeteria and restrooms space, which we don't have at Achieve. And then also we even looked at ING, but ING does not have the space either. In our conversation, someone mentioned, what about those portables at Lamar that are even behind a fence? And that's where we went and we did a walkthrough with our team and Region 1 as well, because they were helping us with the setup as well and some ideas. And practically they're set and nobody's using those portables. And that's where we decided that's the place that we will start. Now, to address the number of students that are already currently at the Lamar campus, we do follow a rubric or a set of, a criteria of how many students each campus serves. And we allocate staff members based on that number of ratio, staff to student ratio. And so it's something that we can look at, definitely. We can look at if 4 teachers are not needed, and then if we do need an additional assistant principal or additional instructional aid or whatever, I'm sure that will be part of what HR will advise us, and we would accommodate the campus and support the campus as needed. Now, one more thing, 50 students, if we're talking about 50 students, it's not 50 students all the time. It will be maybe 20 in the morning or 25, and then 30 or 25 in the afternoon, okay? So when we factor in the ratio, we factor in half of the 50, so it will be 25 students. Yes, sir.
I was going to say that it's piloting. We're going to pilot this program because we don't know what's out there, and we want to see if we can, if there's a need for this population of coming to an alternative school to give them an opportunity to get their diploma. We don't know what we're going to get until we try it. We want to serve kids that have fallen through the cracks, that have been left behind from acquiring a diploma. It could either be one test that they need, and nobody's pursued that kid to take that test, or it could be 3 credits that they need and just to get a diploma, but they're out there. We want to find out how many are out there in our community that we can serve. It's a pilot. We'll see if there's a need. It may be that since there's other programs that are offered in other places, it may be that they're already going to other places, and we'll find that out until we try it. That's how we're going to find this out. I know the state of Texas has always promoted the 60-30 program for 24 to 35-year-olds. The 60 to 30 program is that by 2030, they want at least 60% of Texans to have a college degree or an industry-based certification. That's the 60-30 program. This aligns us with that goal that the state of Texas has, that by 2030, they would like to have at least 60% of Texas adults to either have a college degree or a certification to be on the job. And that's why they offered ADA funding, and they offer, if we can perhaps be able to put them in CTE programs or South Texas College, they offer those additional funds for this population. We will not know how many of these 18 to 26-year-olds are out there until we try it out and we pilot a program and see if there's a waiting list, or there might not be a waiting list. We don't know, but at least give it a chance and do our part to help out this population that has been left behind in many areas. And that's why the Region 1 Service Center started a school for 18 to 55-year-olds. And that school is going to be started in the FAR area, but that's too far for our population in the event that there is people in our community that need that diploma. And they're not that far away from getting it. And we just want to be able to bring them back and recapture them and give them that second, third, or fourth chance that they need in life. And a lot of them have changed over the years, that they did things as teenagers that they regret, and they're 25, 24-year-olds, 23-year-olds that want that second opportunity, and we'd like for McAllen ISD maybe to have that opportunity for them. And we'll find out how many are out there once we can roll it out, try it out, and see how that goes, and see how many are interested in enrolling. And then we'll go from there. But let's give it a try, and let's see what's out there for that age group in our community, in our district, that we can help.
Thank you.
So, no, you go.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know, this is just out of the,
Microphone.
oh, excuse me. Like partnering with city, either programs, like I'm just thinking of facilities via Boys and Girls Club or something, just like other spaces that maybe if Lamar's not quite ready, that we could, and is Crockett totally out of the question?
So can I just, before you go on?
Yeah.
So at Precinct 2, and I work for Hidalgo County Precinct 2 as a Commissioner Cantu's Programs Director, and we offer ESL, GED, citizenship, and then once we get them through GED, we move them through to STC, whether it's a CTE program or not. It's all free to the community. All the community centers across Hidalgo County offer it. So recruitment is going to be a task. But I love the fact that we would offer it in a school setting. So Lizzie is right. Community centers already have space for that. So maybe we want to partner with
Like
them.
STC or
Yeah.
something?
Okay. We'll look into other options, but we'd like to see, first of all, we'd like to see how many are interested, and then go from there.
So they're interested, like I have a waiting list. We just graduated 14, 15 brand-new citizens, and they're moving right into the ESL. As soon as they're done with ESL, they move into the GED. Some of them are more advanced than others, and so some of them will be transient. They'll come in, they just need a refresher, they'll take their GED, and they'll move forward. So it may not always be 50. You may have more, you may have less, but the need is there. We have a wait list because it's there.
Yeah, I think our intent is to 50 students and see how that goes.
Trustee Reylo.
So I was noticing that the initial presentation that we were sent had a different amount and less teachers. So it had only 2 teachers at 65,000, the same amount of anticipated students or goal of students. So how did we come to, or what was the thought process and how many teachers we need for the 50?
Well, originally, when we were putting the presentation together, we were looking at a half-day ADA. And then about an hour ago, we got clarification from Region 1 that we can receive full-day ADA. So that changed the amount of money we can work with. And so that's why, and then also another thing is that we do have a posting for the 2 teachers, but when you look for multiple certifications in an educator, it's hard to really get a teacher that is certified in math and science, which that would be ideal. And the reason that we didn't want to go with 4 teachers right away is because we don't know we were going to get the 50 students or not, right? So we wanted to start with 2 teachers and then see if there was the need, and then move it to more. Because actually, Dr. Gutierrez and us, we were discussing that, let's see if we can at least get 10 students, right? And so if for you to hire 4 teachers for 10 students, well, it's not efficient, right? And so, but when we calculate 50 students, even though they come half-day, we get a full ADA from them, then we're looking at a bigger amount of money. And so looking also at the challenges that we've had on attracting multiple certification teachers, we went ahead and expanded to 4 teachers and believe that we will get the 50 students or more.
With, I guess with 50 students, what is the number of teachers you need, or we just don't know that yet?
Well, the thing is about the 4 teachers is that you want them to be at least certified in the core, right? So you want an English, a maths, a science, and a social studies teacher. And then the electives can, depending on the need, they can always come from the evidence-based credit recovery program. And for that, you don't need a certified teacher in that particular subject. But if you're going to be preparing a student to take a state assessment, you want a certified teacher to be teaching the reading or the writing, right? And so that's why we're looking at 4 teachers, at least in the core area.
Just one additional clarification. So I assume that our staffing structures are driven by a student enrollment at a particular location. And so for the questions and the staff positions that Trustee De La Garza Lopez shared, those are a function of the number of students that are currently attending that physical location in 2 programs. I am then inferring that if we are adding 50 additional students at that, it wouldn't cross a threshold to convert, let's say, an LVN to an RN or a part-time social worker to a full-time social worker. Is there yet clarity on the number of students that would enroll in this program that would actually convert some of those positions to full-time? And if not, that might be helpful for us to see.
Right.
And then the second assumption I want to test is I'm hearing the number 50. If there are 150 applications and they're all qualified, am I fair to assume that we are going to cap enrollment for the pilot year at 50, or do we take them all?
We'll work at 50.
Okay.
Because we want to see, because this population comes with so many different needs. Some of them may need assessments only, some of them need credits only, some of them need a combination of both. Some of them can only come in like maybe half a day or in the morning, some in the afternoon. It's a very, the needs are so different.
Absolutely.
Because of it all depends where they left off.
Yeah.
And
So
we're
capped at 50.
We're trying at 50 because they're going to come in with so many different needs. And we'll add up to 4 if the need arises that we need 4 because of 50 students. We'll start off with 2 teachers and see how many are interested in enrolling. Now, again, we're trying to serve our former McAllen ISD students who did not finish, and we want them to finish and see what the interest is out there, and if there's that population in our community.
Thank you.
Okay, well, this was for information purposes only. Is there any further discussion?
I just want to say that we would bring reports to the board regularly on this program, so that we can give you an updates of if it does take off and it does have a group of interest. We'll bring you reports regularly to keep you informed.
Okay, thank you. Item 6A2, report regarding the advanced placement and the IB and dual enrollment programs. Dr. Gutierrez.
Yes, administration will provide a report on our McAllen ISD AP, IB, and dual enrollment programs that we have. We have a report to show the board comparisons for the last 3 or 4 years on some of these programs and the areas that we have been doing well and the areas that we need to continue to improve. So go ahead, Dr. De Hoyos.
Thank you, Dr. Gutierrez. And also, I want to thank those that are here this afternoon with me. We have the principal at the IB campus, Ms. Nora Sanchez. We also have Ms. Rachel Downey, which is our IB coordinator and assistant principal there at Lamar. We also have Alex Gonzalez, our advanced academics coordinator, and Norma Cabrera, our director for college career and counseling, which you will see why all these ladies are part of this one report. Each one of them assist and lead the efforts that make this report successful or the results of our students successful. So I am going to start with the results for advanced placement testing and passing scores earned, and that this is primarily led by the Advanced Academics Department, and that's why Ms. Alex Gonzalez is here, and also will serve as, help me answer any questions that you might have. So I'm just gonna take you through the charts here. You have data from 2021 all the way to last year, 24-25, and as you can see there on the second column, on the first chart, you have the number of advanced placement courses, and you see an increase. That has always been an effort to continue to offer as many courses that we can to our students, and we're constantly focusing on student outcomes, so that is the goal. And as you increase courses, you increase the number of students that enrolled in these courses and the number of exams that are taken. So then I will take you now to the fourth column there. As you can see, the increase from 2021 with 3,848 exams taken to last year, 4,589 exams taken. We also have in the next column the number of advanced placement capstone diplomas, starting from year 2021 at 8, and now last year we ended with 20 diplomas. Now, those scores that are passing scores, as you may know already, that an advanced placement exam have scores from 1 to 5, and 3, 4, and 5 scores are passing scores, and those are reflected here. Of those 3,884 students that exams that were taken in 2021, 1,265 exams were in the scores 3, 4, and 5, which they were passing. So that yield a 33% passing score in that year. Now, let me move, let's take you to the last row there, 24-25, with 4,589 exams taken, 2,073 exams were passing scores, and that yielded 45% passing rate. And so it is, even though probably someone looking out from outside in to this report might think, well, it's an improvement, yet we also, through the advanced placement program, we also not only look for passers, but we also look at exposure of rigorous curriculum. So for us, that is a success, and it's something to celebrate and thank the Advanced Academic Department and everyone at the campus that make this happen. The next part there in the chart below, we have those exams that have been challenged. The number of courses, again, we gave it to you in a different format, but I want to call your attention to the last row there, a number of advanced placement exams challenged. Now, we had in 2022, we had 234 exams challenged. Every year, you pretty much looks like a constant number of challenging students that are challenging the exams. Now, who are the students that challenge an exam? I have that list over here. It could be students that enrolled in a different program, like on-ramps or dual credit, and feel that they're strong in that subject, and they want to challenge that exam so that they can also take that credit with them to the university that they are planning to attend. It could be also students that had a schedule change during the second semester after an advanced placement exam had already been ordered, so we invite them to go ahead and test. And then we could be students that opt to challenge the AP exam for a language course because they feel strong in the language. Students also that demonstrate language proficiency and challenge an exam, an AP language exam. And then also those senior students that are still looking at how they could fulfill a CCMR requirement, we also invite them to challenge the exams. And at the last part is also a student who took a course, scored a 2, and then they're taking an upper level course and they feel like, okay, now I can retake that exam that I scored a 2 and didn't pass, and I can gain credit now by retesting. So those are the reasons why students challenge an exam.
I do want to say that, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to ask before we jump to, so I don't forget my questions either. I know obviously there's been a change in the advanced academics department, and historically, we have made all students test for these AP tests, whether they wanted to or not, or whether they knew that their college or university was not going to accept these credits. The concern that I have with that, and my son was a prime example, he knew that the university he was going to was not going to accept some AP credits, but he still took the test. But it was kind of like, meh, I'm going to take the test because I have to. But for a parent that is looking to enroll their student in McAllen ISD and is doing research amongst different districts, and they see the AP pass rate is only 45%, that would give me pause to whether or not I want my child to go there, thinking they're going to spend their time in these rigorous courses, and then they have a 50-50 shot of getting credit for it. So I don't know if there's been discussions about this. I know that the exams cost the district money, but I would ask that maybe staff and administration look at whether we only offer the test to those who want to take it and know that they're going to get credit for it, or not get credit, but know that they're going to use the credit should they pass. Because I think, my opinion is, if you have 4,500 exams taken and only 2,000 were given credit, that's a lot of money, and that's, students could have used that opportunity in a different way. I understand that it's important for kids to test because they spend their college years testing, and practicing how to take exams is important, but at what end? So I have concerns about this, and I always have, but I think now is a good time to look back and reflect on this.
Yeah.
I agree, Trustee De La Garza Lopez. Or another idea is just to, students pay for their exams. If they pass the exam, then we credit them. Could be a potential idea as well.
Yeah, I don't have a problem paying for them if they want to take it. I don't want to pay for it if they're going to go in and blow it off because they know that either they weren't ready or their university isn't going to accept the credits anyway.
Right. How much, off the top of your head or anyone's head, do we spend in these AP exams?
I'm calling Ms. Gonzalez to come in. Over here to the mic. Because I know, I'm calling her because I know that also we are working with a timeline on when to order the exams, and maybe at that time, students don't really know if they have a good chance of passing or not. And so, and then also the amount of how it costs. Go ahead, Ms. Gonzalez.
On average, we're spending $285,000 a year. We do have federal programs that does assist with our economically disadvantaged, and so they take on a portion of that expense.
But also, when are the exams ordered?
Our exams are ordered the first week of November, right? College Board does have a preferred ordering deadline for October, early October, first week, but we do have to order by November, the 10th.
Based off your experience, what percentage do you think, if maybe we went this route that Trustee De La Garza Lopez is recommending, give them the option, what percentage do you think students would follow this?
That would want to take the exam?
Right.
I think that we would have a very high percentage.
Okay.
The only ones, there might be just about 3 or 4 subject areas, and we've looked at those, in having a concern for taking that exam.
Okay. Like how many different tests do we offer?
So we offered a total of,
There was 31 AP courses.
4,589 assessments.
Wow, okay.
But that's because they're being,
Sure.
basically being made to take the test, that's what
Yeah,
she's saying.
and any student that's enrolled in an AP course does take it.
What's the
But
benefit?
we did, yes, we can take a look, and, yeah, and we did, like, for our AP dual courses, they are dual and no longer required to, take the exam for like that course.
What's the benefit of requiring everyone to take it?
Since they're sitting in the class, and they are going through the curriculum, we do encourage them to see where they stand, right? With the course, with the curriculum, see, you know, if they do pass that 3, 4, or 5, and they gain credit, you know, they're able to put it on their transcript, so we recommend for them to take it.
I have one more thing. If we somehow were to minimize, that would also make day-to-day for some teachers and staff, and even the whole buildings look a little different, right? If not everyone, or how does it work during these AP tests? Like, is the whole school shut down? Is it anything like that?
The campus continues to run, we just, we section
You
off an
stagger them?
area where the students go in
Okay.
and test, and we have proctors. The AP teachers cannot proctor their own assessment, so then we have other teachers step in and
Okay.
proctor those exams.
I just know I still hear a lot about how many different tests and benchmarks we have to take. That's another conversation, but. anyway.
Conversely, thinking about our success rate on the AP exams, what roadblocks or how can we help to increase our passing percentage if we're going to, you know, commit the money and resources that we have to the AP program in general? I feel like we're at that level of we need to just maybe invest a little bit more to ensure their success.
Definitely through our professional learning with our teachers, right, ensuring that they have, you know, the resources available to them, that they know the, you know, the program, the course. Also, you know, we do have student prep sessions on Saturdays, but possibility of maybe increasing those for students that might need, you know, there is a lot of conflicts that do take place over the weekend as well with other programs. And so just really having, you know, the teachers and the students prepared.
And may I add to that? I think this might just call for a whole look at,
Workshop.
year at a glance, the assessments that we give. Because if we can minimize some benchmarks that are maybe unnecessary and spend more time focusing on these AP, that would help a lot of students and it would help staff as well. So.
Trustee Carrillo.
I think I have an orientation more similar to Trustee Jalado, which is, my question is, how do we get more students taking AP exams to see higher rates of success? And the clarification that I would just offer is a 45% passing rate with a student population in our district that is above 70% economically disadvantaged is something we should be shouting from the rooftops and celebrating. I just pulled up a TAPER report from another district in another part of the state that has a 20% economically disadvantaged rate, and the past 2 years of publicly available data for that school district has a 41.7 and a 53.1% passing rate on AP and IB exams. And so the fact that we are within striking distance with 3 times as many more economically disadvantaged students tells me that something is going right, and we should be striving to grow this program and get more of our students passing this exam. Now, whether or not they must take the exam because they know they're going to a college or university that's not going to accept it, you know, I think we should give parents as much choice as possible within our system. But this is not something I think that we should be afraid to put on a bumper sticker, a banner, and a marquee. It might take some education for our community to understand that 45% in this context is worth shouting from the rooftops, but great work.
I also have always, from day one that I've been on this board, because of my background in higher ed with an emphasis in dual credit, early college, all of that, have asked over and again, and I know when you look at the data, it says that we're not paying that much for on-ramps. On-ramps has an out for every student that takes on-ramps courses. It's not fair to the AP students, and it's not fair to the dual credit course students. They have to take a test at the end or somewhere in between. AP is extremely difficult. It is a comprehensive exam at the end, and that's why it's so hard to pass. Dual credit has support all the way through, so they test, they have monitoring, they're all the way through. On-ramps, on the other hand, I've said it and I'll say it again 100 times over. Those kids have an opportunity to take the test. If they fail, they have the option to not even put it on their transcript. And for me, personally, that's unacceptable. It's an out, and it's not fair to those students who try and maybe they don't get an A, but they get a B, and they're stuck with a B on their transcript. So I'm going to challenge every chance I get how much money we're spending on on-ramps, and I would love to see our AP programs and our dual credit courses get the credit they deserve for the rigor that they go through in order to pass those and get the credits that they do. So.
Thank you. Okay, this item was for information purposes. Any further?
We still have to go through IB and everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
We have
Okay.
to, it was only
That was-
I feel like we went through all the data. I'm scrolling through and I got table reports and a bunch of other stuff going on.
I just wanted to say on the AP advanced placement is that 45, and Trustee Carrion mentioned it, is something to celebrate, because I've seen the scores from across the Region 1 area, and 45% is one of the highest, and it's something to celebrate, because it's, it's over the top. 45%, it's tremendous for the,
Which I'm sure would be much higher if it was those that wanted.
If we look at the criteria as to who should test and kids that are in the AP classes, as well as those that want to take it versus just a blanket of giving it to everyone, absolutely we'll have better rates, because then we would give it to that population that has prepared for the test, that wants to take the test, instead of just signing up students that may not want to take it, and then they're not serious about it, and it impacts our overall rating. But 45% is something to celebrate. It's something that it's very rigorous to get a 3 or 4 and a 5 in an AP test. It's a lot of rigor, and we got to offer all programs for all kids. That's all I can say.
I agree.
And moving on
Sorry.
to all
Next slide.
students and all programs, the results for the IB testing and diploma awards is here. And again, I gave you several years prior to last year, and just because of time, I'm going to take you through the 24-25 results there. We have, as you can see, 31 courses offered, 18 of the DP 12th grade courses were offered. 55 candidates, and those candidates, we took 441 IB exams in May, and the 80% score of 4 through 7. And just like advanced placement, they have a score from 1 to 5, IB has a score from 1 to 7. And so that is what we are seeing. 27 received the bilingual diploma, and 47 received the IB diploma in total. If we look at the other chart underneath, you can see through the years where we compare to the world average, the world schools average. And so in 24-25, our Lamar Academy students score average is 4.52, very close to the world average, 4.89. Looking at the diploma attainment rate, 86, above the world diploma attainment rate at 81. So since 2003 to 2025, we've been able to award 1,119 IB diplomas, and that is a 92% attainment rate. And I want to thank the IB staff and also the Advanced Academics Department staff that have made this possible. If there aren't any questions, we can go on to dual.
I do
You do have a
appreciate
question?
the
Sure.
context comparing ours to the world average, just for future.
And I think I need to do that for advanced
all of
placement.
Yeah, that would be
Thank
great.
you, Trustee Carrion for bringing that, but that's what we need to do.
I do have one question.
Yes,
'Cause
go
if the IB program historical is from 2003 to 2025 at 92%, and we're below 90% from 2020 forward, except for 1 year, are our more recent years lower attainment rates than looks like our historical average? Is that due to like a COVID hangover, or is there anything concerning that we need to be looking at there?
This graduating class was the kids that went back their freshman year for, for all our graduates were our COVID
This is
kids.
Ms. Downey.
Everyone. You see that drop when you look at the past, if we go back all the way to the data, we had several years where it was 100% and in the 90%. Yes, this is definitely part of the pandemic, but also part of the trend was for a time, the students starting with the class of 2019, we had open admissions. There was no rubric, there was no guidelines about the expectations. A lot of students came into the program not realizing those expectations of what it entails for IB, because everything they take has to be under that IB curriculum to be a candidate, whereas an AB student can select AB courses and pick and choose. When that open happened, that's when we saw that first year drop in 2019. As we started to move in the right direction with the class of 2020, pandemic hit, they didn't even have the opportunity to take their IB exams to show what they could do. And then we went back to our stricter admissions practices and making sure families were informed and they understood the rigor of the program before joining the program. That started with the class of, I want to say it was 2023. So yes, there's definitely been a gap like we've seen across all of education involving scores, struggles, skills struggling, but we are seeing a trend going back up this direction. We're very proud of the 2025 class. They struggled for 3 years. And the fact that they got it to the 86 and went above the world average is amazing for them and how much they struggled. It absolutely is the goal to go back to 100%. It always will be, but of course the pandemic was an issue.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, and our last slide, thank you, Ms. Downey. Our last slide is on dual enrollment, and this is mostly led by our Director for Guidance and Counseling and also Advanced Academics, and you'll see the dynamics in a minute. So for the dual enrollment with South Texas College, we have 3 partnerships. So the first one I'm going to address is the one in the yellow chart, and that is the partnership with South Texas College. One goal that we have is increase the number of courses, increase the number of students, and obviously increase the success rate. And so I believe we've done that, and we continue to have efforts in place to increase that. Starting from 2022 with 110 courses, and then moving on to last year, we ended with 174 courses. 1,080 students participated in this program, and 12,811 credits were attempted. 12,079 credits were earned, so 94%, if you want to call success rate there. Now moving on to the chart in orange is the dual enrollment with UTRGV, and you can see the big increase in the number of credits and the number of students that went from 2023 to 2024 last year. And that's mainly because of our collegiate campus, that we have our first cohort of students taking UTRGV courses. And we're very proud that even though we increase more than tripled the number of students, and the number of credits was increased for more than almost close to 2,000 credits, we still maintain a 94% passing rate. So that's a very good indication that the program is strong, and that those students are benefiting from these dual enrollment options. And then third, we have that chart in the bottom that is the partnership with UT on ramps, and you can see there the number of courses has maintained. The number of students have maintained more or less, yet the percentage of students that are earning credits has increased. So that is also yielding a success there in that partnership. So that is what we have for you. This is the report for advanced placement, dual enrollment, and international baccalaureate program board report. If you have any questions, we're here to address.
Does anybody have any questions?
I have one. Why such a disparity between on-ramp success credits earned in the other two programs?
Because they don't have to keep them.
One of the biggest indicators there is that the UT on-ramp students can choose to accept the credit or reject it.
If they get an F, they don't have to keep it on their transcript.
Or even
But
if
if
they
a
get a
dual,
D,
or even if they get a D, or whatever it is, but if you're a traditional dual credit student, you get an F, you got an F. It's on your transcript.
Thank you.
I've said my piece.
All right.
So when we say credits earned, that includes an F?
No, credits that you earn and keep for your transcript, that you're going to take into the university.
All right.
Also, it looks, and Ms. Cabrera can help me with, if you want to assist me with there, but also some courses. Okay, I'll be quiet.
No.
Please share.
No, yeah. It's just basically that. I just saw my boss.
We're here.
They're just very different programs. Even though they all help students with dual enrollment, they're very different programs. And the instruction's different, the course is different, curriculum's different.
That's what I was going to say. The course work is different.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that with all of that being said, a workshop
I agree.
would be great.
I asked for a workshop since I got here.
Okay, all right. Moving forward,
But
we
those are good, by the way, those are
on-
3 great reports, no matter what. The data shows it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Let's just say that, okay?
Mr. President, I'd like to see if you'd entertain a motion to reorganize the agenda to move item 6C3 forward to right now.
Okay,
I'll second that.
I have a motion by trustee Regalado, a second by trustee Peña to move 6C3 to the president. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. 6C3, yes. Okay.
Thank you, President Rivera,
Mhm.
Dr. Gutierrez, and esteemed members of the board. I'm here to present the delinquent tax collection report for April 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2025. As always, our delinquent tax collection program on behalf of McAllen ISD focuses on 2 basic premises. The first is to collect from the individual taxpayer first, and secondly, use a tool of litigation only as a final option to collect. During this 4th quarter, we completed 1 demand mailing 895 statements to delinquent taxpayers within this district. Because June 30th represents the end of the fiscal year, we've also included in our report a annual summary of all of our collection activities. And you'll see we completed 6 demand mailings during the entire fiscal year. Regarding our 4th quarter contacts with taxpayers, we initiated or received over 1,100 phone calls. We had 102 payoff requests, and we knocked on 100 doors of delinquent taxpayers within this jurisdiction during this 4th quarter alone, educating and informing them about their delinquency and doing our best to get them in a payoff agreement, a payment agreement. You'll see for the entire fiscal year, we knocked on 625 doors within this community. On the next page, you'll see our litigation summary. In the 4th quarter, we filed 24 lawsuits, we took 11 judgments, and we disposed of 27 lawsuits. Pending litigation, you'll see in the fiscal year summary, we have 266 lawsuits currently pending for this district, representing over $1.5 million owed in base, penalty, and interest to the district. We regularly conduct tax sales and resales as part of our collection program. During the 4th quarter, we placed 4 properties up for sale, and they were all pulled due to a payment agreement initiated with the taxpayer. For the entire fiscal year, we sold 5 properties. 1 was pulled, and 8 were also pulled in addition to that payment in full due to a payment agreement. On the next page, you'll see our fourth quarter collection comparison. You'll see we were down significantly compared to the prior year in the fourth quarter. You'll note that, if you'll recall, at the end of March, Governor Greg Abbott issued a disaster declaration for this area due to the massive flooding. As a result of that, the tax assessor collector issued a no outward collection efforts for us for a period of 30 days in order to show compassion to the individuals that were affected by all the flooding. So that led in large part to the decline. However, for the fiscal year, we are up, so that's great. You'll see we collected for the entire fiscal year a little over $3.3 million if you scroll up just a little bit. Of note, you'll see in green, I think we've discussed it before, if you could scroll a little bit up. There we go. Over $1.1 million were paid to, we've been over this a couple of times, right? Refunding due to protests with the appraisal district or folks getting homestead classification and being entitled to a credit for that. So that's money that we collected. The district did not see, but it's important for you to see that that was the efforts, those were the results of our work. So we're pleased with the fiscal year-end collections for the district. Looking forward to the future, we will continue our lawsuit activity, working closely with the taxpayers, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are going back to our regularly scheduled program here. 6B1, discussion and possible action on the 2025-26 Texas Teacher Evaluation and Support System.
Yes, the McAllen ISD Board of Trustees annually approves the appraisal calendar specifying the time frame in which teacher appraisals must occur. This is a requirement that has to go to the board. Dr. Albert Canales, Chief Human Resources Officer, will answer any questions or share any information, and we are recommending action on this item.
Okay. Any discussion from the board?
I move to approve.
I have a motion to approve by trustee Peña,
I'll second.
second by trustee Carrion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. All right, 6B2, discussion and possible action on the 2025-26 list of certified Texas teacher evaluation support appraisers.
This is also another requirement that needs board approval. McAllen ISD Board of Trustees approves the annual list of certified teacher appraisers. Dr. Albert Canales, Chief Human Resources Officer, will share any more information or answer any questions, and we are recommending action on this item as required.
Okay. Any discussion from the board?
Move to approve.
I have a motion by trustee Regalado,
I'll second.
second by trustee Haddad. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Got together. All right. 6B3, discussion possible action on McAllen ISD policy FNCE local student conduct. Dr. Gutierrez.
Yes, update. This is an update to the McAllen ISD policy FNCE local. It covers student conduct related to personal electronic devices, specifically changes needed to address 2 key areas: how confiscated cell phones are stored and the clarification that the district will not dispose of any confiscated phones. These revisions ensure our practices are clearly defined and consistent with legal and operational expectations. Dr. Albert Canales, Chief Human Resources Officer, will share more information. We are recommending action on this item as required by law, and we had our first reading about a week or 2 ago, and now this is the second reading that we're asking the board to approve this item as school is about to start this coming Thursday, and we need to notify our parents, our students about the new requirements of the cell phones in our schools.
Okay. Board, second reading.
So we're looking for an approval. We do have the two policies. The first one was that students shall not use a personal communication device on campus. The second one, that they wouldn't bring it at all to campus. So this one allows them to bring it to school as long as it's stored, as long as it's kept on silent or turned off in a backpack.
And no fines.
No fines. No, we're not
No
fining
fines,
them. No.
correct.
I have one comment. So there was a question today about headphones, and I don't see that this was included at all in the policy, and I don't think that my reading of the law it required anything to do with headphones. Do we have a policy about prohibiting the use of headphones?
Yeah, we put it down in our student handbook. So when we look at the law and so what the law says, just personal communication device is defined in the Texas Education Code 37.082. It also includes any wearable technology that is capable of digital communication or telecommunication, like glasses. The only concern that's come up is to use your headphones, you're gonna need your cell phone or Bluetooth if you're looking at that part. So communication with possibly on the phone when they have their headphones on, with their cell phone, and/or just listening to music. You're gonna have to have your cell phone at one point to take it out to either adjust or hang up or do other things.
So the reason, or what precipitated my question was that there was I heard from a parent about headphones being a required
Yeah.
So, and I know that maybe it's been a long time, I don't use headphones other than for talking, but I know there's other uses, and we may even require them to use them with their Chromebooks, so I worry about our policy being too restrictive.
Yeah, I talked to Judith Escamilla today, and our Chromebooks that we do provide for the students do have either the plug-in for the headphones. So we are looking at either one purchasing or one looking at the schools giving that advice to parents to buy the ones that are actually wired. The Bluetooth on our actual devices they're not gonna work as well as maybe a cell phone. So we'll get that message out to parents to ensure that they're either and/or buying the plug-in ones or that we provide as a campus to students that need it for that purpose. Now, if students do need it on a 504 RTI or other basis, possibly that's there, but we also have the plug-in, so we think we can do it with that there.
So if I might just ask Mr. Ball, does your reading of the law require us to prohibit headphones?
No, I don't see
So-
anything necessarily about headphones, but I think it's definitely something that if we were so inclined to, we could. My non-legal opinion as a parent, which is gonna make my daughter upset when she hears this, is it would be better to just say, don't have them. To the extent that we can, and except to the extent that they're needed for a 504 plan, anybody that has anything related to special education and arts, I understand that has to be permitted and it should be, but I'm not sure.
I think it's important to clarify what we're talking about, the Bluetooth headphones, right?
Correct.
Just that solely is what we're talking about.
Sure, I mean, if they
The
want to.
policy implicated.
Right, there's nothing that prevents them from having a Walkman with a cassette.
Good.
And I'm not being funny, but that's nothing off limits about that.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, from a practical standpoint, for us to prohibit them from using Bluetooth headphones that may be needed for the classroom, at the direction of their instructor, then certainly they'd be able to use them. So I feel like if we're prohibiting them, then we're making parents spend on something that is, I mean, I guess maybe some people are going back to wired, but I don't think it's another expense.
Let me clarify something real quick as far as what is being used in the district. The district does provide headphones for testing, and they are wired. They're required to be wired. We do not allow Bluetooth, because then if you open Bluetooth, then you can connect to other Chromebooks by accident or things like that. So if you do allow headphones, it would have to be wired, USB or the jack, the 3.5 jack.
I will echo what Trustee Regalado said, because I did receive phone calls from parents as well asking why that was on their list and not the plug-in headphones, how it has been in the past, especially elementary students that we've heard from, so.
Yes, and the campuses typically buy wired, and they provide them for their students.
Okay.
Yes. Like if they want to listen to a book, an ebook, or things like that, but they're always wired. We do not allow the Bluetooth.
My son's 7th grade said earphones that fit Chromebooks, so, I mean, that was.
Yeah.
But going back to earphones for only 504. I mean, there's other classes, I know even at the high school level, where they're required to watch video, instructional videos, or just curriculum videos. So I would think that there would be necessary as long as they can plug into their Chromebooks.
And what the law says too, there's a part that says that we must utilize every effort, if it's our Chromebook, to have the students use our devices for any kind of communication at all would be based on our device.
And I want to clarify what Ms. Escamilla said. So, because, one option would be to allow it during instruction time, but what you're saying is that our Chromebooks won't connect Bluetooth to
We
earphones.
currently have it off because you could accidentally connect to another Chromebook, so we leave Bluetooth off.
So there'd be
It's
no
secure.
reason to allow students to have, Bluetooth earphones?
Correct.
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 Unless they're going to use it after instructional time.
Right, I
Even-
mean,
Right,
as
they
long
have to have
as
it
they can store it.
When Mr. Martinez and I looked at different policies, like on the, and when we finished the meeting last time, that next morning, we had a TA guideline to come up with some different policies. And on every one of those policies, at least 3 out of the 5, right, Jesse? I think it has where they put it in a pouch, including their wireless headphones. So they wouldn't be able to use, or, hold it in their ear and hide it and.
Those are called Faraday bags, or like quasi Faraday bags, so you don't have any communication come through the device. So it kind of leaves it, no communication gets through.
And did you say we do provide, like on day one, are we going to have enough headphones for every student that may need it for instructional purposes?
Typically, the campuses are the ones that have that ability to buy for every student. I know they have that initiative for like their classrooms, or they do class sets, and they have like their little names for the students in their classroom, but not for them to like keep.
Correct.
Yes.
We've been using them for several years, the headphones.
Oh, yeah,
that
we've
are
been using, correct.
Wired connected to our
Yes.
Chromebooks.
Just to clarify, Dr. Canales, when you say in the backpack, it's off, like power off or silent?
It says powered off or on silent.
So
It
it's
has
either.
both, or silent. It says powered off or on silent,
Okay.
not on vibration mode.
All right.
I move to approve.
Well, we have two options.
I
This is the first.
The first option is,
I move to approve this option.
This one was to go into we decided to go to the backpack. The option,
but there's two policies in our packet, right? The
So
first
move to
option
approve
is
the option where
use-
students can bring
You
in.
prohibit use, second is prohibit possession.
Correct.
Oh, I thought you were presenting,
There's two different
Allowing.
ones that we did. So the first one we're doing is that they can bring it to school property. They just have to have it stored
okay.
in their backpack. The second one is they can't bring it at all on school property. So those are the two major differences.
But
on those.
we selected that they could bring it and keep it in their
Correct.
backpack. That's
So
what
so that
we're-
would be this option number one.
This is
if
what the-
everybody-
So,
This is
So
what
I
we
amend
recommended.
my motion
Trustee
to
De La Garza.
This is what we recommended.
move to approve
Move
option
to
one.
approve option 1, which is allowing. them to
Allowing
bring
students to
possession.
bring their devices, be put away on powered off or on silent,
I second.
with wired
All
headphones.
right, I have a second by trustee Haddad. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. If you are a parent who bought Bluetooth headphones, I hope you have your receipt so you can return them for some that have the plug-in, because it's unfortunate. 6B4, discussion and possible action of 25-26 Student Code of Conduct.
Yes, as per Chapter 37.001 of the Texas Education Code, the Board of Trustees shall adopt a student code of conduct for the district. The code of conduct must be posted and prominently displayed at each campus. Dr. Canales, Chief Human Resources Officer, will share more information. We are recommending action on this item. Go ahead.
So here's the student code of conduct. The first time we did bring it over, the stuff that is in red is what was added here. We had on there that we're gonna give the kid a warning, and then as we met with the principals this past week, and as of yesterday, the hard part is, especially at the secondary, they're saying, well, if we give 8 warnings, how do we know, or 7, who gave the actual warning? Because we'll never have any kind of feedback of who did it, right? So it'll just be the kid will go to first period, get a warning, second period didn't take it out, third period get a warning, well, we'll never know. So we wanted to amend this one, the first offense, to say the device will be confiscated, student will be issued a warning. So they'll still get the warning, but we'll have the device, right? That way we know that we've taken it up already once. And then at the end of the day, the student can come back and pick it up. So we're not going to burden the parent to come in the first time to get the device, you know, the kid can go, and we can still notify the parent, hey, your student had the device picked up. And then for the second one, the device will be confiscated and documented on a discipline document form. And it says the parent or guardian must pick up the device. So second time, we'll have the parent pick up the device. So first time, kid can get it, second time, the student can pick it up. And then the rest of them stayed the same, except for the last part, we had the principal to meet with the campus principal to pick up the device. We put on there a campus administrator, because we don't know, like, what if it's a principal only, and then they have 50 devices to give out, or 20, we don't know yet, so we thought we'd leave it like that to be better that they can pick it up from any admin on the campus.
Or designee, right?
Or designee, correct.
I did have a question, not on this particular portion of the Student Code of Conduct. I believe it's on page 28 of the Code of Conduct, having to do with the penalties for e-cigarettes or vaping devices.
Yes.
So my understanding is that in the 2023 legislative session, there was a bill passed that required a mandatory placement in an alternative education program for possession of a e-cigarette or vaping device on a school campus. But that bill was revised. There was a cleanup, essentially, in 2025, which allows for discretionary placement in an alternative education setting. I see that reflected in the middle school and high school consequences for possession of a vaping or e-cigarette, but not at the elementary school. And I wonder if it's worth conversation around, like, I'm just wondering why that is.
So for the elementary part, and I can have Jesse also speak to this part, we're looking at anything really from 3rd to 5th grade, that kids bring in some of those devices, but you do have kids that do bring them because maybe their parent left it and they just put it in their backpack.
Hey, look at this cool thing I brought.
Yes, I think that's what Jesse, if you can come up, I think that's what they've dealt with more. You don't have too many students that go to discipline, not to
Correct. At the elementary level, we don't have, but it applies for that grade level also. So if a student, an elementary student is in possession or using of an e-cig or vape pen, they will have the similar consequences, but we call it an elementary DAEP. So they will be sent.
They will be?
Correct.
Okay. So it's actually different now, because what I'm seeing is that at the first time offense at the middle and high school level, it's 10 days of in-school suspension. It's not a referral to a separate educational facility.
Correct, because at the elementary levels, we don't have it like a dedicated in-school suspension.
We don't have
like
an
middle-
ISS at
Yes,
the
correct, like
campus.
middle schools and high schools
Okay.
have a setup for in-school suspension, so we could offer that. At the elementary levels, you don't have in-school suspensions at the campuses, so we couldn't go with that option there.
Okay.
So that's why they go straight to a DAP.
Okay.
We do consider mitigating factors, of course, on that part of it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any further discussion from the board? Can I entertain a motion?
Move to approve.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second by trustee De La Garza. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Okay, 6C1, report regarding 2025 anticipated collection rate and 2024 excess debt tax collections. Dr. Gutierrez.
The district must consider anticipated collections in calculating the debt component of its rollback tax rate, now titled the voter-approved tax rate. Ms. Lorena Garcia, Deputy Superintendent for Business and Operations, will have more information on this. This item is for information purposes only. Go ahead, Ms. Garcia.
Good evening. The 2025 anticipated collection rate and the 2024 excess debt tax collection have been projected by Hidalgo County at 100% collection.
Thank you. 6B3, discussion and possible action on McAllen ISD, oh no. 6C2. Report regarding taxes collected for April through June 2025. Dr. Gutierrez.
Ms. Lorena Garcia, our Deputy Superintendent for Business and Operations, will report on the taxes collected by the Hidalgo County Tax Office on behalf of McAllen ISD for the quarter of April through June of 2025. Go ahead.
Yes, the April through June 2025 tax collection reports are attached in your board agendas. The amount that was collected is 1.7 million. In April, we had local maintenance of 578,000 and 107,000 in debt service collection. In May, we had a collection of $488,185 and a debt service of 90,875. In June, we had a collection of 399,507,000 and a debt service collection of 72,297. Overall, we are trending, we ended the year a little bit higher than the prior year in current collections, and as reported earlier with our delinquent tax attorney, we were a little bit behind, but on the quarter, on the delinquent tax collection.
Thank you.
And this is an information item only.
Okay, any questions? Moving forward, 6C4, report regarding facilities needs assessment.
Yes, Ms. Lorena Garcia, our Deputy Superintendent for Business and Operation, is presenting an update on the committee's walkthrough findings, which are still happening, and any recommendations and the process that is used to reach them, ensuring transparency and community engagement in facility planning decisions. And we'll just have this is an information purposes item only, and it's a brief, just a briefing on to the board as to where we are with the Facilities Forecast Committee. Go ahead.
Yes, and this is a visual that shows you where the phases that we've already completed through this process, and we're currently entering the community input phase. Capacity and utilization report has already been completed by MGT, and they provided us a draft for verification. We do have a meeting on Thursday with them to review those numbers and to give them back our feedback. The facility assessments have been completed. The site walkthroughs by the companies, both companies, MGT, and then half mechanical assessments have been completed. They're entering that information into their BASIS system, which is their software program. And then currently we are working with FFAC for the walkthroughs. What we have done is we have divided the Facilities Forecast Advisory Committee into 3 vertical teams, and we created a schedule based on the vertical teams through the month of August for various campus visits. And we started last week with our walkthroughs, and as a matter of fact, we have some appointments scheduled for tomorrow, for Wednesday, and for Thursday. And here is the schedule of the different walkthroughs. You're welcome to join us at any point in time. In any one of these walkthroughs, and we encourage our campus principals to invite the members of the committee to also attend the walkthroughs. We will be requesting their feedback through electronic format. There is a survey. After they complete their walkthrough, they would submit a survey providing their insights on that particular facility. And then that information gets funneled back to MGT, and they put it into their report. Now, as far as community engagement is concerned, we will be hosting a town hall meeting where we invite the community of McAllen ISD, the city of McAllen, our partners, for September 11, 2025. MGT will be spearheading that meeting. They will be here on site, and they will review the information that they have with the community, and also will provide another mechanism for collecting feedback from the community at large. So these are the dates that are coming up. October 1st, they will provide us with a report, draft report, and then we are hoping to bring October 7th, the final report presentation. These dates have changed since initially because, remember, we were on a fast track, and then we've gone back to the original timeline as prior to the changes that we were contemplating on the legislature. Questions?
This is an information item only, still ongoing, and will continue to be ongoing for the next several months, and keep the board informed as we move along with this report.
I just have one comment. It was mentioned at the last facilities committee meeting regarding checking with the campus principals, since it's being so close to the school start date and teachers still setting up, campuses getting ready to get kids in the next morning. Just want to make sure that these dates are still working for every campus, and if that due diligence was done.
The difficulty is that we have to, complete this before the month of September. And we did schedule them at night because that's
After
when
hours.
the community is available. If we would have scheduled them during the day, we might not be able to get any participants.
No, I understand that, but, I mean, even now, even during the school year, you have teachers that are working past 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, many of them. On the weekends, you have people that are going to the campuses and stuff, and especially at the beginning of the school year. So I was just wondering if we've cleared that.
I did work with Ms. Nino and Dr. De Hoyos as far as those dates to make sure that we didn't book them on a day that was already taken by other activities on that night. So those nights are technically free nights on the calendar.
Thank you. Okay. Moving forward, 6C5, report regarding interlocal cooperative agreement number 2020-002, Texas Association of School Board Purchasing Co-op by Board. Dr. Gutierrez.
Administration is required to report fees, including management fees paid for purchases by or to the district through this cooperative agreement in accordance with TEC Chapter 44, Section 44.0331. Ms. Laura Williams, Director of Purchasing Services, will provide this report, and this is for information purposes only. Ms. Williams, go ahead.
Good evening, Dr. Gutierrez and Board of Trustees. For the time period of September 1st, 2023 through August 31st, 2024, district-wide purchases through the Cooperative Buy Board totaled approximately $5.6 million, and through the use of that cooperative, we had rebates back to the district in the amount of $46,823.33. We did have to pay an administrative fee assessed due to a vehicle purchase in the amount of $800. So, any questions?
Okay. This item was for information.
Okay, moving on. We are on, thank you. We are on 6C6, discussion and possible action of a resolution authorizing designated district officials to open and maintain bank accounts with Lone Star National Bank. Dr. Gutierrez.
The McAllen Independent School District is transitioning its depository services to Lone Star National Bank. This resolution formally authorizes designated officials to open and maintain checking, savings, and other required accounts on behalf of the district. This action is required to ensure proper financial administration and alignment with state law and board policy. Ms. Lorena Garcia, Deputy Superintendent for Business and Operations, is available to answer any questions. We are recommending action on this item as required under this depository contract.
Mr. Chair, I need to recuse myself from this item.
Okay, we are noting Trustee De La Garza Lopez is recusing herself.
Mr. President, I will also recuse myself.
Trustee Haddad is recusing.
Mr. President, I move to approve.
I have a motion to approve by Trustee Peña.
Second.
I have a second by Trustee Aguilado. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 5-0 with 2 abstentions.
I will also be recusing myself from the next item.
Okay. And 6C7, discussion and possible action of a resolution authorizing designated district officials as signatories on bank accounts with Lone Star National Bank.
Mr. President, I will also recuse myself on this item.
Noted.
Mr. President, I move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion by Trustee Peña and a second by Trustee Aguilado. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 5-0 with 2 abstentions. Okay. Discussion and possible action on the resolution of the board regarding review of the investment policy CDA local. Dr. Gutierrez.
The Public Funds Investment Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 2256.005 requires each local government entity to have a written investment policy. An annual review of the district's investment policy and strategy must be documented by formal action by the Board of Trustees. This action would also record any changes made to either the policy or strategies. We are recommending as an administration action on this item.
Okay. Do I have any discussion on the board?
Mr. President, I'm gonna move to approve.
I have a motion by Trustee Peña,
I'll second.
a second by Trustee Haddad. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. 6C9, discussion and possible action on the resolution adopting authorized broker-dealer list. Dr. Gutierrez.
The Public Funds Investment Act, the Texas Government Code, Chapter 2256, governs local government investment and requires the governing body or its designated investment committee no less than annually to review, revise, and adopt a list of qualified broker-dealers authorized to engage in investments and transactions. Administration is recommending action on this item.
I move to approve.
Motion by trustee Peña, second by trustee Kittleman. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. 6C10, discussion and possible action on the resolution approving independent sources for investment training and designation of investment officers. Dr. Gutierrez.
The resolution lists the independent sources who provide investment training sessions related to investment responsibilities. Additionally, the resolution names Deputy Superintendent for Business and Operations, Chief Financial Officer, Director of Accounting, Coordinator for Budget, and Coordinator for Accounting as the district's investment officers. Ms. Lorena Garcia, our Deputy Superintendent for Business and Operations, is available to answer any questions. We are recommending action on this item.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Regalado, second by trustee Peña. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Okay, 6D, Board of Trustee items. 6D1, approval of Board of Education meeting minutes for June 24th, July 30th, and July 31st.
We're recommending action on this item.
What say you, Board?
I have on the June 24th minutes, there seems to be confusion on the public comments.
Let me see.
There's I believe those comments were made at a different meeting.
What? I'm not seeing that.
On the June 24th minutes, we see Fanny Johnson cellular phone use by students during school hours as it pertains to communication with parents. I believe those were made at the
last meeting.
Yeah, the July 30th, not the June 24th. Because if you look at July 30th, it's the same comments. And
Okay,
June 24th was our budget meeting.
So we omit that, those public comments.
Okay.
Approved to omitting those.
But yeah,
But we did have some librarians comment on June 24th. That's not reflected either.
okay.
I think we can approve it
With the changes?
with the changes that trustee Haddad has indicated. I think,
Okay, I'll
can we
amend.
do that, John? Yes.
I'll amend my motion to approve as, with the corrections
Appropriated.
by trustee Haddad.
All right.
I'll second.
I have a motion by trustee Regalado and a second by trustee Haddad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0 with those changes.
Good catch.
I didn't see that. 62, discussion and possible action of travel for Board of Trustees.
No, administration is recommending action on this item as well.
All right.
I move to approve.
I have a motion by trustee Peña
I'll second.
and a second by trustee Haddad. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Item number 7, recess to closed session. At this time, the Board of Trustees will go into closed session to discuss the following: report regarding superintendent authority to hire professional staff from June 24th to August 11th, human resource recommendations, discussion of human resource employee resignations, discussion of human resource employee resignations and retirees, discussion of recommendation for principal at McAllen Memorial High School, and pending and/or potential litigation, possible real estate. It's 7:08, we are in executive session.
Timeline of June the 24th through August 11th. A list was provided to the board in closed session, and this is for information purposes only.
Thank you. 9B, discussion and possible action of human resources recommendation for school year 2025-26.
Human Resources submitted a list of recommendations for the 2025-2026 school year under a separate cover for discussion during closed session. Administration is recommending action on this item.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion by trustee Regalado, a second by trustee De La Garza. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. All right. 9C, discussion of human resources, employee resignations, and retirees for school year 2024-25.
Human Resources submitted a list of resignations and retirees for the 24-25 school year under a separate cover for discussion during closed session. This item is for information purposes only.
Thank you. 9D, discussion of human resources, employee resignations, and retirees for school year 2025-26.
Human Resources submitted a list of resignations and retirees for the 2025-2026 school year under a separate cover during closed session, and this is also for information purposes only.
Thank you. 9E, discussion and possible action of recommendation for principal at McAllen Memorial High School for 2025-26.
Administration recommends the approval of Mr. Ramiro Castillo for the principal at McAllen Memorial High School, and administration is recommending action on this item.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion by trustee Regalado and a second by trustee De La Garza Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0 unanimous. Congratulations, Mr. Castillo. As a fellow Mustang, I know you're going to make us proud. All right, and 9F, Mr. Ball.
Nothing to report.
9G, Mr. Ball.
Same announcement.
9H,
Same announcement.
thank you.
I move to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn by Ms. Peña, trustee Peña, second by Ms. trustee De La Garza Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Good night, everybody.